You saw some pawns appearing on the board. Did you count how many pawns were there? Yes, it did. You're so focused on the video that you did not count or did not see how many times the pawn appeared. So topic name deflection. Welcome back to Chess with Rahul. Today we are learning deflection. Yes, we are learning a new concept that is deflection. Yes, what is deflection? Yes, deflection is a simple tactic that is used to remove the defender of a certain piece or a square. Yes, by removing it forcefully. That is what called a deflection. Yes, we'll look into that and we'll look into some examples on deflection and we'll understand what is deflection. Yes, without any further ado, let's get started. So there is a position on the board where we'll learn what is deflection from this position. And we'll also look into some examples and we'll understand what is deflection. Yes, in this position, so we can see that the queens are seeing each other. So there is a queens are seeing each other. Both the queens are protected by their kings. So we can see that the black queen is protected by the king. And so in this position, we can sack our bishop on f7, deflecting this king away from the defense of the queen. That is what deflection is. Bishop takes on f7, check. The king can't move anywhere. It can't stay protecting the queen without it can't stay protecting the queen. So it has to no other. It is supposed to take the bishop, no other move for the king. So and we take the queen. This is what is called as deflection, deflecting the defender, removing the defender of the piece or a square, certain square sometimes. Yeah, this is what do you mean by deflection. So we'll look into some examples on deflection and we'll learn how to use deflection and to make it clear what a deflection is. Yes. So we have a second example of deflection. You can see that in the position, our white king is dominating the black king. So the black king is almost in the verge of checkmate. So black pushes the pawn. Now in this turn, it's white to play, and we have to use deflection to win the game. So the rook to d8 is the obvious move. We have to give a check. There is no move for our opponent king. So he has to block the check with the rook. So now we use deflection to deflect the king away from the defense of this rook. Where we are where to capture the rook, then the king will take it. So we need to deflect this king away from the defense of this rook. So knight to e7 check. So we are deflecting this king away from the defense of this rook. So king goes to h8 and capture the rook on f8. This is deflection. I deflected the king away from the defense of rook. Yes, this is the first example of deflection. So we're going for the next example. The second example, pause the video if you want and try to figure out the answer. Black to play, find deflection. So I'm going to answer now. So in this position, white mode is rook to f4, which is getting out of the attack of the knight. So knight to e2 is a deflection. What we deflected? We deflected the king away from the defense of this rook. So the king is went to b8, b1. Sorry, king went to b1, and rook takes on d1 is a back rank mate. So this was possible because of this move. What is deflection? Deflected the king away from the defense. Pause the video, try to figure out the answer. This is black to play. It's very easy actually. This is again the use of back rank and deflection, using deflection as a main motive and helping take advantage of your opponent's back rank. Yes, I'm going to answer now. So queen takes on f2. Queen takes on f2 check, deflecting the rook away from the defense of that rook. Rook takes on e1. Rook has to block, no other moves. So we can capture with the either rook, that is, and check with it. That was about deflection. Now we have to remove the defender of a certain piece or a certain square. So that's what a deflection is. Removing the defender and then taking advantage of that. That is a deflection. You saw some pawns appearing on the board. Did you count how many pawns were there? Yes, it did. You're so focused on the video that you did not count or did not see how many times the pawn appeared. So topic name deflection. Yes, I will see you in the next one.